never stare into the eyes of a chicken blues. I was in East Tennessee, just passing through, my guitar in tow, feeling pretty blue. I was getting kind of car sick and homesick too. My head was pounding, but I was pushing through. See, I was 3 weeks into the tour of the kind where you don't make no money, there ain't no sense in trying. I was playing for exposure, I guess, wondering how many people died from shit like that. But I was born a folk singer way down in my heart. I ain't doing it for money and I ain't about to start. And like most artists, I'm prone to get depressed, and poverty don't help you out of stuff like that. Depression, that is. So when I woke up that morning, I was down and broke. I gassed up my car, I hit the back road. It was just 4 hours to my next show, so I had time to kill. I was driving slow when I came upon a flea market stand. And I ain't never been the kind of man that'll pass up one in the Appalachian Hills where you can find weird shit at pretty good deals. There was produce, antiques, and buffalo hides, and apple butter in mason jars and welding supplies. An old couch like my granny owned, broken fax machines, orange traffic cones and Indian beads, and homemade knives, even a livestock section. To my surprise, there were pigs and ducks and a billy goat, and there were cages full of chickens stacked in rows. Well, now me and my wife, we started out in the country, and for that, my friend, we both feel lucky because we got a love for gardens and such, and chickens always held a special place in our hearts and our stomachs. Well, the flea market man said, "Hey, can I help you with something?" I said, "No, buddy, I'm just looking. I've been out here on the road. It's burning time. I'm gonna look at your chickens now, if you don't mind." There were Dominickers, Orpingtons, and Wyandottes, and Rhode Island Reds, and Plymouth Rocks, and Golden Comets, and White Leghorns, and Jersey Giants, and Australorps, and Delawares, and Cornish, and Naked Necks, and German Creepers, and Speckled Sussex, and Silkies, and Brahmas, and California Greys, Coachies, and Mannies, and Old English Game, and Welsh Summers, Elkanas, and Easter Eggers, Blue Andalusians, and Barn Builders, and Black Stars, Amberlinks, and Eves Browns, and my favorite of all was the Misted Morans. I said, "Damn, that is quite the assortment." Now let me be clear, I gotta get this straight. See, this story demands you get my mental state. You know, I sit behind a mic and wear a big grin, but that ain't always the fairest picture of what's happening within. See, I've been making it now as a troubadour. But lately I've been wondering what all the hell for. Yeah, I'm chasing the ghost of Woody and Towns, but what would I do if I finally tracked them down? And I've had a habit since I was a kid of jumping into something and running right out to the edge, and by the time I was old enough to see this pattern, it was too late for me to do that much about it. And I can take the thought running through my head, and I'll fake it till it about thinks me dead, and I'll make a monster of almost anything if I let my brain get up and get away from me. And sometimes the road, it'll put me in a trance, and it'll bring out my demons and make me watch them dance, and by the time I get that straight to my mind, I noticed a couple days done pass by. I'm sorry, I ain't trying to overshare and all. It's just part of the story. I was staring at the chickens, adoring the feathers, putting fingers in cages, trying to pet them. I was studying the way they moved around, the way they held themselves, and all their different sounds. I laughed at the roosters interacting with the hens. It was a soap opera at each and every pen. Then it dawned on me, and I said, "Whoa, would you look at the variations in a rooster's crow? Some a cock-a-doodle-doo, some a cock-a-doodle-don't, and some a cock-a-doodle however the hell they want. Some a sound to grunt, and some a sound to yell, and some sound like they're dying, and some will give you a scare." Well, now the flea market man, he had a nice southern drawl, so we were shooting the shit and making small talk. He asked if I'd ever raised any birds on my own. I said, "Yeah, but not since I've been out on the road." He said, "My boy plays a banjo. He's pretty good too. Now what kind of music is it that you do?" I said, "I play the kind of songs that a leghorn would play Dominic are in the way. Some eggs that is. Must have thought I was crazy or drugged and loopy, and what made me say it, I still don't know it. But it made perfect sense to me in the moment, and maybe my thinking of singing chickens. It stems from my early childhood obsession with the rooster that sang the Roger Miller tune in the Disney movie. The Robin Hood cartoon, I thought, what if that rooster had laid down his guitar and joined Robin Hood and taken up arms? He could have been a spark in the People's Rebellion that wrangled back the freedom from the Nottingham sheriff. And just about the time the thought became clear, I became convicted of my need to look in the mirror, because right now they're robbing the poor to give to the rich, and all I can do is sit around here and sing about it. Whoa! Oodle lolly, golly, what have I become? Well, you see what I'm saying? Once my mind gets loose, I'll turn a thread till it becomes anew. So I took a deep breath of that chicken shit air. I slowly exhaled, running fingers through my hair, and then the flea market man walked away real awkward at me. I never know when to quit talking. I yelled, don't you want a leghorn singing the hands? Trying to get the lead egg just for him, but he ignored me and walked on about. I said, God, please help me learn to shut my mouth. I tried to play it off, I faked a yawn. I put my phone up to my ear, acting like somebody called. And then I turned around all nonchalant, and I locked eyes with a golden lace wine god. I was mesmerized. My eyes so red, it might sound funny, but it was getting in my head, because he was staring at me, so I stared right back at him. Was he sizing me up, or was he even aware? I thought I saw a universe in his eyes, and then I wondered what was going on just behind. How's the world look through those red eyes? Does he even understand the passing of time? Like, does every single moment refresh anew? Does he face the horror of existence without a clue? Because I ain't never seen a chicken with a weary sigh who's been up all night in the coop of crying. You know, they get up every morning, put their face in the dirt, and they spit out the mud, and they swallow the worm, and they peck around without caring the world. They peck and peck again some more. They practice reproduction, then go to roost and run it back in the morning. Cock-a-doodle-doo, and now the chicken never flinched. It's like he couldn't scare. It only grew the intensity of our locked-in stare. Then once I started thinking on it, you know, I've never learned to just live in the moment. I'm always haunted by my future and my past, what's left to gain and what losses I've had. And might I be the only one of my kind who found these thoughts in a chicken's eyes? And then he curled his head and he lowered his beak. I yelled, this wine god's got a beat on me. I balled my fist, I began to sweat. I tried to leave, but I was feeling trapped. I screamed, what's this thing, a bird or a demon? Something's in his eyes that wouldn't let me leave him. I hope this wasn't something like Edgar Allan Poe, because at the end of that, the raven took his soul. And all at once, existential dread, it flooded my heart and it drowned in my head. I said, is there a hell? And what is sin? And why can nobody tell me what consciousness is? And how does anybody expect us to live with the ominous certainty of ever approaching death? Well, the flea market man said, hey buddy, now listen, you just can't stand here and scream at my chickens. Wipe that sweat off of your brow and get your way up and out of here now. So I left that joint, I got back on the road, I got up here to Nashville just in time for this show. I took my guitar and recorded my mic. It's pretty good to be with y'all here this afternoon. So here's a message for y'all. Won't you please take heed if you ever find yourself in East Tennessee and you're a bit wigged out and scared of the road. I want you to be real careful about where you go. And if you see that old flea market stand, don't you stop or so much as wave your hand, because I'm telling y'all, I damn near lost my mind looking into them chickens' eyes. But hey, at least I got a song for you. And now everybody likes the talking blues, where you can turn your pain right into a joke if you write it in a verse and sing it to folk. And maybe this will be my legacy as a writer. I took my struggles and turned them lighthearted. I think of what my favorite artists left behind, turning their agony into rhymes. You know, Bob Dylan, he was something of a tortured character, yet he wrote the Nobel, he won the Nobel Thank you.